Yes. So, good evening, Venkat.
Good evening, sir.
So, let's start with your introduction. So,
Yes, sir.
introduce yourself briefly.
Sir, I'm KV Srikanth. I'm from Bhavata district, Andhra Pradesh. I've did my schooling from Andhra Pradesh itself, and I've did my electrical and electronics engineering from Shivnadar University, Dadri, Uttar Pradesh. My hobbies are exercise, meditation, and countryside walks. And since graduation, I've been preparing for the Indian Forest Service, sir.
Okay, right. So, can you tell us about some history and geology and briefly about your district as well?
Sir, history-wise, we have a rich history from 3rd century BCE, from Shatavahanas to Chalukyas, Kakatiyas, and also we have Qutub Shahis to British Empire, sir. Sir, regarding geology, my district has arcane rocks like granites and gneisses, and Proterozoic basin sediments like Kadapa Basin, which consists of sandstone and limestone. And also, sir, we have Krishna Godavari Basin sediments and also alluvial soils, sir. This is the broad
Okay,
geology
so
of it.
okay. Suppose we come there for 2 days, right? So,
Sir,
which places which you will take us there to visit?
sir. Sir, Guntur district have historical sites like Undavali Caves in Guntur, which has Amravati Buddhist stupa. Uh, Sir, we have Uppalvadu Bird Sanctuary, which is a nature wonder. We can sight migratory birds there. Um, and sir, to the local cuisine of the Guntur, we are famous for mirchi bhaji and um, gongura pachadi and biryani. We can go there, sir.
Okay, okay, fine. So, you mentioned regarding this Amravati, right?
Sir,
So, can you explain few pointers of this Amravati School of Painting?
sir. Sir, Amravati School of Painting, sir, sculptures, right?
Yes, yes. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, it uses red sandstone, um, and it was different from the Madura and the Gandhara type of schools. Mm, in that, the Buddha has a long halo behind his head, and the architecture is similar to the Buddhist architecture of uh, Madura, but there are some differences. Like, uh, sir, I'm able to recall this one, sir.
Okay, no problem. So, you studied electrical engineering, right?
Yes, sir.
So, tell me, just name five subjects which you have studied while the course of 4 years. Any five subjects. Just name them.
Sir, sir, mainly I've studied digital electronics, uh, power electronics, circuit theory, embedded systems, and high voltage AC transmissions.
Okay, and there were also subjects like electrical machines.
Electrical
Was
machines,
there?
yes, yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So, can you explain me this? What is this corona effect?
Sir, sir, it forms in the transmission lines. When there is a high voltage, there tends to be a leakage of voltage across the around the conductor line. That is the corona effect, sir.
Basically, ionization of air around the conductor,
Yes,
right?
sir. Due to high voltage.
Okay, okay, okay. Fine. So, your hobby includes badminton, playing badminton, right?
Yes, sir.
So, why badminton in India is mainly dominated by females?
Sir, I beg to differ. There are many star players in males also, like K. Srikanth, who was world number one in badminton for some time. And also we have Pulel Gopishan, sir, and he also has an academy which has so many male stars. Um, yes, sir, I think males also dominate this player in this game.
Okay. And who is your favorite player, male and female both?
Uh, Sir, I have to go with the PV Sindhu in the female, uh, and K. Srikanth in male, sir.
Okay, but recently in past few months, we are witnessing that PV Sindhu is losing matches
Yeah.
quite a number of times. Why is it so?
Sir, recently I'm not following that much in badminton, so I cannot recall right now.
Acha, which company is the top manufacturer of badminton racket?
Uh, Sir, I'm not exactly sure which company it is. If I can take guess.
You can name, you can name top three companies. Any will do.
Sir, Yonex is there. Chinese company, I think it is. Uh,
Okay.
yes, sir,
So
that's
you mentioned regarding meditation as well,
yes,
right?
sir.
So how do you think meditation has changed you as a person?
Sir, sir, I practice daily meditation in the morning, and it shaped me to increase my concentration and focus, and to maintain my calm, and practice the awareness and be in the present. These are three areas it has improved. It has helped me.
Okay. Okay. So I think a few in the last decade itself, there was this bifurcation of Andhra and Telangana, right?
Yes, sir.
So what do you think? Has both the states progressed after that, or they
Sir.
lagged behind? Was this bifurcation needed or not at all?
Sir, I think there has been a movement since historical movement from 19 before the independence and after the independence as well. There is a Telangana movement because the historical injustice meted out to them regarding the administration, the reverse sharing and the development, overall development. Sir, after the bifurcation, I think both the states developed, especially Telangana, in terms of water availability and terms of jobs, in terms of infrastructure development. And also, sir, Andhra has also developed in terms of investment coming and and, and also we have new infrastructure projects going on uh, and new capital building is there. So I think they have been progressing in a good way.
So you measure progress in terms of economic development only. What about social development?
Yes. Sir, social development should also be there because it is essential for inclusive development. We have to count both the social, environmental, and economic. I think the Andhra is
Okay,
doing some welfare schemes in terms of social areas. So I think that area is also Andhra is doing good.
okay. So can you name me the DFO of your district
Sir, sir, I'm not aware.
and who is the governor of your state
Sir, recently changed. I don't recall right now.
and who is the president of India?
Sir, Draupadi Murmu, madam.
Okay, okay. And is there any national park in your state?
Sir, there are three national parks: Sri Venkateswara National Park, Rajiv Gandhi National Park, and Papikonda National Park.
So have you been to any of these?
Sir, I went to Sri Venkateswara National Park, which is in Tirupati, sir.
Okay, so which kind of flora and fauna did you see there?
Sir, I've particularly seen a teak. I've seen uh, the amla tree. I've seen Indian laurel, uh, mangoes, and neem. Regarding to fauna, sir, I've seen Indian giant squirrel and grey langurs, wild boars, and some spotted deer.
Okay, okay. And can you differentiate between this jogging and running? What is the basic difference between jogging and running?
Sir, jogging and running has differences in cadence and pace. Cadence is low in jogging, the steps per minute. And also, sir, regarding the pace, it was 6.4 to 9 kilometers per hour in jogging, and it is more in running. And also, sir, the way the leg is touched on the ground is different. Here in jogging, we have to have one leg touching the ground. In running, we might have both the legs in air at one point of time, if you can see.
Okay, fine. So you are also interested in movies, watching movies, right?
Yes, sir.
So there has been controversy regarding this recently released movie, the Kerala story. So you are
Yes, sir.
aware of this, right?
Yes, sir.
Several people from Kerala they want to ban the movie and also they want to put the director behind the bars.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what's your take on this?
Uh, Sir, I think, uh, sir, exactly. I didn't read about this, so I don't have much knowledge to comment on this.
Okay, so several governments like in West Bengal, this
They banned.
movie has been banned, right?
Yes.
So what do you think? Is it correct?
Sir, I think it should not be banned. Means if the state demands, if there are the violent incidents, then it could be banned. But as it passed the CBF certification, I think it can be screened on big screens. If there are any security issues, then we can uh, take account of the issue and we can ban.
Okay, so you still favor that some movies should be banned.
Sir, if there are any security issues, like if the violence is erupting in some states, then we have to control and uh, the loss of property and lives.
Okay, and what is this PBTG?
Sir, they are particularly vulnerable tribal groups designated by Ministry of Home Affairs in states where the tribals are particularly vulnerable in several criteria like the education or their connectivity and development, health, and etc.
Okay, can you name few of them?
Sir, our state has Chenchus and Kondaredis we have in Visakhapatnam and Narsipatnam area, Chenchus in Srisalem areas. Uh, yes, sir, these are two I can recall right now.
Okay, and can you tell us under which act this national park uh, and wildlife sanctuary both are, yes, both are mid, like under which act
Sir,
these are formed?
it is under WPA 1972, Section 18 and 26 deals with wildlife sanctuaries and Section 35 deals with the national parks, declaring
And
other.
what about this biosphere reserves?
The biosphere reserves is not accounted in WPA 1972. I think it is the international agreement, the UNESCO's managed biosphere reserve program. Through that, government declares biosphere reserves. It's not in
Oh,
particular act, I think.
okay, thank you, Srikanth. Now
Thank you,
over to
sir.
you, man, sir.
Hello, Shrikant.
Hello, sir.
So, why do you want to become? You said that you have been preparing for Indian Forest Services specifically since your graduation,
Yes,
right?
sir.
So, why do you want to become Indian Forest Service officer?
Sir, basically, IFS is my dream job, and I have, sir, three reasons. Uh, uh, So basically, I have the passion for the nature. Secondly, I want to work in against the climate change, which is the peril right now, and I want to work in tribal development, national nature conservation and wildlife conservation. And thirdly, sir, it will give immense satisfaction for me to work in the lab of nature. With these three reasons, I want to get into IFS, sir.
Okay. So, can you tell me what are the three or four most important qualities that a Indian Forest Service officer should have, right? Like there must be some specific qualities if we compare it with some other services. Maybe there is an IAS, there is an IPS, there is an IRS. But for IFS, the officer should have some different specific qualities, right? So, can you think of them?
Sir, according to me, civil servant first should have honesty, and secondly, the IFS officers should have love for the nature conservation, and the balance for the ecology and environment, economy and environment. And thirdly, sir, I think you should have physical capability to do patrols and to do active conservation, so that IFS officer's job is to have more physical engagement in the ground. And thirdly, sir, leadership. You have to lead a team of forest rangers and forest guard officers and foresters. So I think these four are the qualities.
Right, right, right. So, Shrikant, have you watched a very famous movie, Pushpa?
Yes, sir.
All right. So there was the protagonist there was also involved in forest. In fact, he got a lot of support from the public in the movie. But
Yes, sir.
in a way, if you see him, he was a violator of forest laws,
Yes,
right?
sir.
So what is your take on it, right? Is it good that such kind of character gets such so much support or like how will you? What is your assessment?
Sir, I think because of cinema angle, they have shown and uh, they have shown the hero as illegal smuggler. I think it is only for cinematic experience. Like the audience will connect to that the mass image of the hero. And apart from that, I think what he did is illegal, and the people have the discretion. Like they know what is legal and what is illegal, and they have that discerning capability to know what is right and what is wrong.
But aren't you offended? Like you said that this IFS is your dream job, and you have like so much love towards nature. And when you see a protagonist, who is basically
So,
cutting trees, cutting forests, right? They are basically homes of wildlife. So should not this make an IFS officer angry in some way, at least at emotional level, right? All right, never mind. I'll ask you more question. Like you
Yes,
mentioned about meditation, and you also mentioned that you also mentioned that an IFS officer should be a leader because he is involved.
so one.
Am I audible?
उसका लेफ्ट हो गया क्या, कुछ
हाँ
इशू
शायद
हो गया?
वो कुछ
हम्म,
इंटरनेट चला गया होगा.
हम्म.
He's here.
Hello, sir.
Hello. So are you
Sir,
able to?
the
Am I
network got
audible?
cut.
Okay.
Now we are
Okay. So like you were talking about need.
audible, sir.
Okay.
Hello.
I hope you can listen now.
Yes, sir. Sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So like you meditate. So what kind of meditation do you do?
Sir, it was a program of Isha meditation, Shambhavi. I will do it in the morning every day.
Okay. You do Sambhavi Mahamudra, right?
Mahamudra. Yes, sir.
All right. So like are you aware that there are various kinds of meditation? Can you name few kinds of meditation?
Yes, sir. There is a mindfulness meditation. There is a transcendental meditation, and there is a vipassana meditation. Uh, Sir, there is also the body scan meditation where we observe the parts.
All
Sir,
right.
these
All
are the
right.
things I can
So
recall.
like
Right?
you have already experienced, or you have already tasted the fruits of meditation, right? Like you said that
Yes,
this
sir.
increase your focus and concentration. So suppose you are an
Yes, sir.
IFS officer and you want you wish that even your juniors, right? Like the rangers, the forest guard, right? They also do
Yes, sir.
meditation. So how will you argue for them or to motivate them to do meditation, right? What will be your
Sir,
arguments?
sir first I would try to organize some camps in the to refresh their minds, uh, so that I can get the activity done, so that they can experience the fruits, and then they themselves realize that this is working and we can do it daily. So in that area, I can motivate them.
Okay. So, like I can also see that in your DAF, you were qualified like for through this SSB for Indian Navy, but you didn't
Yes,
join
sir.
it, right? Why didn't you join Indian Navy?
Sir, I cleared the interview, the conference round. I was recommended, but I was rejected in medicals due to high myopia.
Okay,
I
okay,
have some 2.75, but the limit was 1.5.
okay. All right. So, like you are one of your interest is this HIIT, right? I think it is
Yes,
high
sir.
intensity interval training, right? So,
Yes,
like
sir.
in this HIIT or HILT, I think something like they call it. So, what is the till what heartbeat do you reach? Right? What is the heartbeat values you reach generally? Have you measured
Sir,
them?
yes, sir. My average is 150 to 160 over the whole workout, but the top peak can go to 185.
Okay. So, like, is there any WHO or any other institute, like credible institutes, guideline for the safe range of heartbeats during the exercise?
Sir, I think it was 220 minus your age. That was the criteria for not to exceed this.
Okay, good. Right. So suppose there is a there is a 60-year person or a
Sir,
55, 60-year person, and he also has interest in doing exercise, and he asks you for advice on HIIT. So like
yes, sir.
what will you advise him? Will you advise him to do it or not? And what kind of exercise will you recommend him?
Yes, sir. Sir, at that age, I think high intensity might be quite demanding on the body. So, if the body accepts, according to the body type, sir, if he is comfortable with going to that high range of heartbeats, I will advise to him to do it. But if he has any problems, I would advise him to do low intensity cardio or walking or jogging.
Okay, good. Right. Okay, have you visited any you were talking to Rishabh sir? You have visited any national park, wildlife sanctuary, or tiger reserve?
Yes, sir. I visited Sri Venkateswara National Park
Yes, yeah, okay, okay. And
in Tirupati.
you also happen to see a lot of flora as well as fauna, right? So, you
Yes, sir.
also read about a lot of wild animals. So, which is your favorite wild animal?
Sir, I think it is line because I watched so many documentaries about it and I was fascinated by the character of the line. So I'd say it was line, sir.
Okay. So, like, where are lions found in the world?
Sir, in Africa, sir, we'll find them in the prides. Uh, and also we have Gir National Park, which have Asiatic lions.
Okay, so
And
is this Asiatic lions and African lions, they are same or they are different, right? Species.
I think they are different species, sir. This one is genus. I think genus is same, but species are different.
So, like, suppose if we if we leave a few Asian elephant and African elephant, so will they be able to breed?
Um, Sir, I'm not sure if they are viable. Offspring is viable in this cross species fertility. I don't. I'm not sure, sir.
Okay, so do you know how you define species?
Sir, according to the genetic makeup and morphological characters, we can define the species and the geographical ranges and indications, other indications.
Okay. So okay, you are also you are from Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. So
Yes,
there
sir.
is also very famous mountain ranges. That is the Eastern Ghat. So
Yes,
as
sir.
a student of geology, are you aware what is the age of Eastern Ghats?
Sir, particularly I cannot recall right now. I think it is Archean period.
Okay. So you just tell me in general how are mountains formed? How are modern? What is the modern outlook towards formation of mountains?
Sir, it was due to plate tectonics. When there are two convergent boundaries, the earth crust get folded up and the mountains form. These are the fold mountains, sir. And also one mechanism is fault mountain, where the earth crust plates diverge and then the block mountains form. Example, the Rift Valley in Africa. And for fold mountains, sir, Himalayas in India.
Okay, okay. So like, can you tell me how are these Eastern Ghats or even this uh, you know, uh, even the Satpuras or maybe we have Aravalis in Rajasthan. So how are
Sir.
they formed, right? I am not able to see any plate
Yes, sir.
boundaries in the Rajasthan. There are no plate boundaries in Rajasthan. Also, I don't think see there is any rift valley which
Yes, sir.
led to formation of Satpura. So how these mountains are formed in the middle of a in the middle of a continent where
Yes,
there
sir.
is no boundary?
Sir, I think due to the intraplate movements where the crust is mobile, we can see the mobile belts like Eastern Ghat mobile belt and this Aravali.
So like
Uh,
how are Eastern Ghats formed? Just tell me. Like there are I cannot see any plates there, right? There is no boundary, or is there a boundary?
no, sir, there is no boundary.
So how were they formed?
Sir, I think, sir, can I guess, sir?
Okay, but you are a geology student, so the
Yes,
guess should be reasonable, right?
yes, sir. Sir, I think it was due to convection currents or maybe the intraplate mobile belts. Like when the collision happens between two plates, these forces tend to show up in different plates where they are weaker so that they can get uplifted. I think I can think of this reason.
No, 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 no. Like, don't make such guesses, right? Yeah,
Okay, sir.
you already said the answer, right? These like Eastern Ghats is of Archean age. So,
Yes,
are
sir.
if there is no plate boundary today, but there could be a plate boundary in Archean ages, right? So
Yes, sir.
at that time there might be convergence, and that lead to formation of this mountain, right? Because they are
Okay,
not
sir.
formed today. So that is why we are not able to see boundary today, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, okay, just I'll ask a couple of more questions from geology before we end it.
Yes,
So,
sir.
like recently there was an earthquake in Turkey, right, which led to widespread destruction. And then
Yes,
there
sir.
was also an earthquake in Afghanistan, which was also of similar magnitude almost, right?
Yes, sir.
So, despite such magnitude, why was there very less destruction, devastation in Afghanistan earthquake?
Sir, sir, I think it has to do with the intensity scale. When Turkey has the development and all the structures on it, so that same magnitude wreaks more havoc in Turkey and comparatively less in Afghanistan because it was in low habitation areas. The
Very good,
intensity was low.
very good, right? Okay. So, Shrikant, have you heard about the term rare earth elements?
Yes, sir.
What are they?
There are a group of transition elements, 17 elements, which are found rarely in the Earth's crust.
So like
Sir, they are
why are they called rare? Why? Because they're found rarely in Earth crust, right?
yes, sir.
Are you sure about this?
Yes, sir. Uh, I'm sure.
Okay. So anyways, read about it more, right?
Okay,
So
sir.
okay, my one last question to you is like, have you in the evening, if you sit in a park, you
Yes, sir.
will see birds flying in a V-shaped pattern, right? At a lot of time they fly in a V-shaped pattern,
Yes,
right?
sir.
So can you think why that pattern is being followed, right? Is there any science or anything behind that?
Sir, I think they formed that formation because to reduce the air to follow the air dynamics. Like if in the V shape, the next bird will use less energy to fly uh, due to the lift generated by the forward bird. So I think that is the.
So what principle of physics are being applied here? And
Sir, I
also there
think
is one principle of social science is also being applied apart from science. So what principle of science or physics is being used?
sir, maybe it was Bernoulli's principle. I'm
Yes,
not sure, sir.
very good, very good. And in social science, which variety, which thing is being used? It is teamwork, right?
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Team. Okay,
Yes, sir.
all right. So okay, I think we have asked enough question. End this end the session before handing over to Rishabh sir, just by a case study. Suppose you are an DFO,
Yes, sir.
you are a forest officer in an area, and there has been some man-animal conflict, right? So
Yes, sir.
there was a wild animal which happened to which happened to kill a couple of humans in the village, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
the villagers are very angry and they just want to kill the wild animal and to get rid of it. So
Yes, sir.
there is a lot of anger, there is mob, and your task is to rescue the animal, right? And you are
Yes, sir.
present in the village.
Yes,
So
sir.
right, so what will you do? What will be your approach? Tell me in a very crisp 3 4 points. What will be your arguments to convince them?
Sir. Sir, in regarding to the wildlife conservation, I think we have to. Uh, so first, I'll take up my team and I'll try to pinpoint the location of the animal and I'll tranquilize it and get to its national protected area.
But the villagers don't want will they will not allow you to do all this. Your team will be of 10 12 people, and the villagers might be 2000 3000, and they just want to kill it, right? So how will you stop them to that not to kill it, and then only you can tranquilize and all do all those things.
Sir, um, sir, these wild animals mostly it was flagship animals. So I'll convince them that this will be their income from the ecotourism and all, and we have and from traditionally they have seen the wild animals like god figures or mother figures. So I think I will try to convince them on those lines. Uh,
But they might say
also, sir,
that our mothers and our fathers, they don't kill our people, but this animal is killing them. So
uh,
or say suppose like, oh, okay, let it be. My last question to you is that why we should conserve animal wildlife, right? Because there are sometimes conflicts, even the loss of life, loss of property, crops, all those things could happen. And also we are still a developing countries, we are still resource deficit in many ways, right?
yes,
So in that context, if suppose someone argues with you that why we should conserve, what is the
yes,
economic, environmental, social rationale for wildlife conservation? So how will you defend it?
sir. I think sir, each animal has a unique niche in the ecosystem, and only if all these animals are conserved, that we as the humans will get the future, or else the ecosystem will collapse. Sir, if you can take an example of if there is low carnivores in some particular habitat, the herbivores become increased, and this will lead to a less tree species population, and this in turns might impact the agricultural output and etc. And ecological balance. I think we must conserve wildlife species.
Okay, okay. Right. So I think that's all from my side. Rishabh sir, you want to ask anything else? Otherwise, we can end the mock.
I think it's fine. We have asked him enough
Okay.
questions,
So
right?
Shrikant, you can leave the call, right? Your session is over,
Okay,
and
sir.
you join back after 2-3 minutes, right?
Okay, sir.